Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. We are back with you guys resting on a tripod on top of my hire car next to the Village Football Club, Kimpbury Town, where I used to live when I was a kid. So right now we're going to talk about Estevao Willian, the confirmation from Chelsea. Everything has been done. Estevao Willian will become a new Chelsea player from Palmeiras after the Club World Cup, which is next summer. We're then going to talk about the latest updates regarding Chelsea's hunt for new attackers. Omari Kellyman, Aston Villa's 18-year-old. He's a left-footer, number 8/number 10. To be quite honest, I'm not surprised as an 18-year-old if you're an attacker, if you haven't made up your mind exactly what you want to be yet. But the news is that Chelsea want to bring Omari Kellyman from Aston Villa. We're getting closer for a £19 million fee. I'm going to talk about this today because, to be quite honest, the last few days as a Chelsea fan, obviously the Euros is happening, so as a football fan, you're elated. There's been games on at 2 p.m, games on at 5 p.m, games on at 8 p.m. But in the back burner, I'm like, England are rubbish here. Like, it's not coming home. That's the reality of the situation. So I'm looking forward to Chelsea next season. I'm thinking about Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. We're hearing lots of stories that Enzo Maresca, the new Chelsea manager, is doing a lot of homework on the current Chelsea players. I mean, like, why are we treating this man like he's a child in school? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a professional football manager, managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he's doing his homework. No shit, mate. Do you know what I mean? Of course he's looking up the players and researching the squad that he's got, and hopefully having a 2-cent say about what the squad should be doing when it comes to those improvements. So, let's begin with the positive news. Chelsea Football Club has agreed a deal to sign teenage forward Estevao Willian from Palmeiras, with the Brazilian officially joining Chelsea next summer. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have signed all documents for Willian Estevao. Deal sealed. Final conditions: €34 million fixed fee, €6 million add-ons based on appearances with Palmeiras, €17 million add-ons based on being multi-season starter at Chelsea, and €4 million difficult add-ons, contract until 2033. That is 9 years away from now, which is absolutely mind-boggling. But there is a little bit of controversy here regarding, I'm about to talk about Omari Kellyman, an 18-year-old who I'm like, why are Chelsea signing this guy? And obviously I'm stood here talking about a 17-year-old, Estevao Willian, that Chelsea have already signed. Bloody hell, my hair's getting long, innit? And I'm getting excited about Estevao Willian, but I can't really get excited right now about Omari Kellyman. Estevao Willian, many people in Brazil, including Palmeiras manager Abel Ferreira, have said that Estevao Willian is the best Brazilian player to come out of Brazil since Neymar. We all know about what Neymar's done in his career. Yes, he might not have been a Ballon d'Or winner, and apparently there is a clause in Estevao Willian's Chelsea contract that is a Ballon d'Or clause. So what we're talking about here is a player that in Brazil, a country that is absolutely renowned for bringing world-class footballers onto this earth, we're talking about a young Brazilian who a lot in Brazil believe could go on and win a Ballon d'Or. Yes, he's 17. Yes, he's not even fully developed into his body yet, so it seems ridiculous to even say that Estevao could win a Ballon d'Or. But I do think when it comes to purchasing young players, there is absolute levels to this game. And I know that's a bit of a cliche old phrase, but Omari Kellyman has hardly really set the world alight at Aston Villa, and we're spending 19 million on him. And the issue I have with this is that at the moment, the talk is that we're going to be bringing Kellyman into the Chelsea first team for next season. How can the club have so much confidence in a player that even Unai Emery isn't starting week on week for Aston Villa is going to come into Chelsea and have a massive impact on the first team? Let's take a little look here at this Omari Kellyman news. Chelsea are planning to seal the agreement for Omari Kellyman to join from Aston Villa today. Club-to-club deal agreed for 19 million quid. Personal terms on the verge of being agreed, with the final details discussed, and then time to book the medical. Kellyman is keen on joining Chelsea. David Ornstein has also sent this one around. Chelsea close to agreement with Aston Villa to sign Kellyman. CFC deal for 18-year-old Villa striker expected to be struck at 19 million. England Youth International still needs to finalise terms and do medical before completing the switch. Now, when we're led to believe that Kellyman will be part of Chelsea's first team next season, and you look at the PSR ruling in the Premier League, and this is where all of this just becomes so odd. I spoke in the last video about selling Ian Martson. In fact, I think it was the short video. We sell Ian Martson to Villa for 37.5 million quid, which is a good deal for Chelsea. Yes, he's only 22. Yes, he could still become such a great player that makes Chelsea look silly for even selling him. But the fact of the matter is, right, Aston Villa are one of the 6 clubs who reportedly need to sell players before the end of June. Chelsea were also one of them. You look at the business with Everton, Newcastle, other clubs that needed to make these changes in order to comply with these PSR Premier League rulings. And all of a sudden, you look around at the business that Villa are doing, Everton are doing, Newcastle, now Chelsea. They're all buying players from one another. They're all buying academy players from one another to give profit into the accounts of the other. And it's kind of like, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours kind of thing. Which, in a world where this is so clear to see, Chelsea make 37.5 million in pure profit from Aston Villa to sell Martson. And then we go and buy their academy star for 19 million quid when they also needed to make profit. This does not scream to me a signing that Enzo Maresca, the new Chelsea manager, is banging on Todd Bowley's door and he's like, look, mate, I've been watching this kid. He just hasn't done that, has he? And it's got to a point here where earlier on this summer, when the season just finished and we're hearing these little Chelsea PR things like, we're going to be changing the ruling. We're not going to just be buying players anymore that are under the age of 20. We're not just going to be buying children to come to Chelsea. We were going to be buying experience because, finally, the brains just seemed to work. The cogs started ticking. The wheels were in motion. The oil is there. And evidently, Chelsea needed more experience. And now, we miss out on Michael Olise, which, okay, fair enough. We don't want to change the wage structure. I get that. I've already spoken about that in the previous video if you want to check that out from yesterday. But the issue here is that Omari Kellyman might turn out to be a class footballer. But I think another issue is, I'm not going to stand here and say to you, yeah, I really get why Chelsea have done this. I really think the club have been really intelligent with this business. It's a smart move, and Enzo Maresca is going to be delighted. I can't stand here in front of this camera and lie to you. The fact of the matter is, Chelsea are literally scratching Villa's back because they scratched ours, because we're all in a bit of trouble here with financial rulings in the Premier League. That is, to me, the absolute truth. Yes, there is a world where Omari Kellyman could turn up at Chelsea next season, hit the ground running like Cole Palmer did. And everyone's looking at Chelsea thinking, blimey, 40 million for Cole Palmer is a bargain. Sensational business. And those guys at Chelsea who are making those signings, making those decisions, clearly know what they're doing. My issue at the moment is, when it comes to the strikers that Chelsea are linked with, we're going to move now to talk about Jonathan David. This is from David Ornstein, so this really probably does mean that Chelsea are keen on this. Chelsea hold talks with reps of Lille striker Jonathan David over potential summer move. 24-year-old high among multiple CFC options plus contract 2025. So fee likely to be reasonable. It means his contract expires next year, so Chelsea could get a bargain here. No approach to Lille yet, but good relations between the clubs due to the business we've done for other players in the past. The issue that I have with this, again, it seems like I'm being very negative about Chelsea at the moment, but it's, for me, we're just feeling them sprinkles again of just like, do we know what we're doing? We've been linked to Victor Osimhen. We were also linked to Victor Gyökeres. We've been linked to counter strikers, John Duran. We've been linked to numerous different attackers across the wing positions. Olise, Nico Williams is another name that we've been linked with. Somerville from Leeds. I know that not all of these are real concrete links, but Omar as well, the striker from Spain. Now Jonathan David. Does this scream to you, Chelsea know what they're doing in this transfer window? Does it scream to you that Enzo Maresca has already done his homework here on Chelsea and he's saying to the club, this is the guy that I want? this is the guy that I need. The harsh reality of this situation is the way that Chelsea are going to have to conduct business now is going to be players that don't want astronomical wages, which means that you could end up not being able to be in the market anymore for the top players. And we're also going to be looking for bargains. We're going to be looking for players that do have 1 year left on their deal. We're going to be looking for 17, 18-year-olds that still see Chelsea as that prime club where we're not going to have any issues with personal terms. Jonathan David's goal and assist numbers at Lille are fantastic. He's done very well. But we all know the French league, it's not exactly difficult to score goals, get assists. Other than that, Jonathan David's all-round game, from the research that I've done, the times I've actually watched him play football for Lille, I don't necessarily think he is the complete forward that I think Chelsea need. When you've got players like Nicholas Jackson who score goals, get assists, do a lot of hard work for the team, but is that really the kind of profile that Chelsea need? I'm not sure Jonathan David is the answer. And again, I'd love to be proven wrong by any Chelsea signing. Omari Kellyman too, I feel sorry for him. He's 18 years old. He's got his whole career ahead of him. And the reason I can't get excited about him coming into Chelsea right now is because I just see what we're doing to so many players. We have bought so many young players. We're stifling their development. They're not getting better as a result of being in a dysfunctional system, a dysfunctional club where there's no continuity and stability. They're not improving, so we're not going to make the profit. And now we're missing out on top targets because we're forced to change the financial model of the club because of the mess that we have had for so long. And that is concerning. It's really concerning as a Chelsea fan. When a striker comes into the club who's got a good goal-scoring record, I'm going to get excited. Jonathan David has a good goal-scoring record. He also does a lot of work for his teammates too. I just don't necessarily think he's the right fit for what Chelsea Football Club need. And Omari Kellyman, look, if we get this deal done, which it looks as though in the next 24, 48 hours or so, Chelsea will sign Omari Kellyman from Aston Villa. I just don't really know where he fits. We've already got a player like Noni Madueke, Cole Palmer that like to cut in on their left foot. Do we need another player in that position? We've got Kendry Pires coming. We've talked about Estevao Willian today, potential Ballon d'Or winner. Do you know what I mean? I'm just struggling to see the plan here. I'm struggling to see where all of this fits in together. And it's worrying me. It's worrying me because I think next season we're all going to be very much expecting maybe Enzo Maresca to struggle. Then it will become toxic again. And the merry-go-round will just keep on going. And I want Enzo Maresca here to succeed. And I want him to be given the players that he wants. And I think Chelsea at the moment, we need to be looking for a goalkeeper. If you're going to play out from the back, you can't have Robert Sanchez as your number one. It's as simple as that. And even Petrovic isn't ready for that yet. And as for the way that we're being linked with striker, and then bringing in an 18-year-old from Villa, who is number 8, number 10. Why? Why? I just don't understand it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm very excited about Estevao Willian, by the way, because I do think, as I said earlier, the key point here, young players, some of them, you just got to buy them because they're going to be that good. And others, which we have seen too often from Chelsea in the last 2 years, including this summer, I'm like, why? What are we buying? Why are we buying this? Thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my vlog channel with my girlfriend, link is in the description. We posted a really cool vlog a couple of days ago, and there's more content from the UK coming to that channel next week. So stay tuned for that one. Come on, you Blues.